Today we're talking about multiple income streams for photographers. For a brief time, I'm actually between cameras. My Fuji X-T4 no longer 100% functional when it comes to the audio section of that. My Nikon Z6 doesn't have a front-facing screen, so it's very difficult to film myself. Canon R5 seems to be delayed shipments in Canada. I think a lot of my friends actually just received their ship notifications yesterday. And I don't know what else is coming out. The Sony A7S III isn't out until the end of September, so I think I'm going to be waiting for, if an R5 ships in the next week or so, I might get an R5. If not, I'm going to wait till the R6. I feel like as a wedding photographer, human being, I have no real need for an R5 or the A7S III, even though it's going to be amazing. I really just don't require it, unfortunately. So let's talk about income today for photography. So this video started out as an idea to do a video on passive income for photographers, but I don't really believe that there is a thing called passive income, that if you are making passive income, it's going to be a very short-term play. It's a very kind of get-rich-quick scheme, and it's likely at some point going to just fizzle out completely. There are some passive income opportunities. I guess almost like 10 plus years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I set up a micro stock portfolio on Shutterstock, and at the time it was iStock Photo. There's also some others that continue to pay me, like Dreamstime, which is a kind of not necessarily an unknown agency at this point, but they don't look like a website that should be existing right now, but I still get a paycheck every couple of months. So I guess maybe there is passive income, but that said, I probably invested hundreds of hours of work, potentially even more than hundreds of hours of work, maybe even 1,000 hours of work into my micro stock portfolio back when I first got started, and I was working for pennies per hour for a very long time. So it's not necessarily passive income, it's more so just kind of time released income that you put in all the hard work now, and over time you make a couple dollars. Passive income, you're not going to unfortunately get rich in the photography space, but to speak to some different income strategies and to set up multiple streams of revenue, which I think is more important, especially now with what we've seen with the global situation, how things have changed, that if you were only a wedding photographer, which a lot of my friends were, you quickly had to kind of pivot into something else. We didn't know if the wedding industry is going to come back 100%, so we had to kind of move into something else. I moved into kind of the more commercial corporate side of my business, which is something that I did have kind of ongoing, but it was nice to just put a little effort into that and to be able to not necessarily pick up where I left off from it, but at least get some money flowing in that direction. It's also, I think, about spotting the opportunities that exist. So in the past couple of months, we've seen a huge influx of every single business really needing to move online quickly. So that means the bricks and mortar stores, as well as like real estate agents, and everyone in your city has to have a better web presence than they did back in, say, even February. So I saw a lot of that happening. I jumped on that pretty early. I did a lot of video content. I did a lot of photography work, and I would consider that to be one stream of income. I think another stream of income is definitely just developing content for social media and working with different people all around your city to set up some sort of subscription base or even kind of one-time off. I feel like the subscription-based model for this is a better play as far as just, I guess, anxiety-wise. You know you're going to get a paycheck, and also when you're creating ongoing content for someone, you really do have a great impact in their brand overall. So make sure that you're working with the right clients. But my second stream of income that I would recommend would be going out to companies. First, you gotta find somebody that you like, or somebody that'll let you in their shop or their restaurant or whatever, to set up some sort of portfolio of this. And essentially what you're doing is every single month, for a certain dollar amount, whatever that might be, you're going into that business and you're shooting content for their entire month. Or I think we usually do like 15 to 20 images, so they have to supplement a few in there. I've seen people bring this to the next level where they actually run an entire social media management system. So they're actually the ones posting everything, and you can schedule everything on later, and you can just set it up like one afternoon and just let it kind of go out over the month. I've seen that work very, very well. I've seen a lot of people that weren't even photographers get into that space and kind of be forced to become photographers, that they started out with their phone and they were doing okay, but pretty quickly they realized that they actually needed a camera to create better content. So I've seen some friends that a year ago were not interested whatsoever in photography, and now they have, I sold my 750, my Nikon D750, and also a gimbal. So one of our friends last year had no interest photography video, and now she is actually running gimbal at restaurants and making video content. So I think that's really an amazing thing that you're able to just, whatever opportunities exist, that you can find the information required to go out and get it done and to make some money. So I think it's very important to stay open to all opportunities like that. I would say that that is a great income stream. Another income stream, definitely wedding photography, family photography, portrait photography. I guess those are all very different videos that I could go into in depth in kind of each topic, but I would say weddings for me has been my number one throughout really since I began this, maybe 2005, 2006. And I've seen a lot of benefit. I'm always after, I think life happiness for me is essentially unlocking my time freedom. So I'm really after time freedom. I really focused hard on lifestyle design, and what lifestyle design is essentially figuring out whatever you want your dream life to look like, and then figuring out all the pieces that can kind of go into that. For me, it seemed like wedding photography was a good step, because weddings, essentially you're working on that Saturday, but the rest of the week, if you're running a full-time business, you can kind of do from wherever you want. And then you're also able to pick up these alternate income opportunities if you ever do need them. So I kind of saw that, and then I saw it working out for a couple of people, and I modeled a lot of kind of my life, I guess, after what I would be able to do if I only really physically had to be in one spot at a time. As you can see from the channel, I have a very strong interest in travel, and all of that essentially was kind of planned into my lifestyle design as well, that I wanted to be able to travel freely and to work from anywhere, and that worked out for a number of years. This year a little bit different, but I think that things will resume soon, and that's how I set up my life. And you can use that time freedom to be with your family, or to go to the cottage more, or whatever it might be, but really do figure out what you want your life to look like, and figure out what aspects of photography and what income streams that I'm talking about today are actually something that you can implement and that will actually make you happy. It is 12 o'clock, so I have to go into the bank to have my meeting, but I'll be back to finish up more income streams after this. Now, another element that a lot of people actually miss out on, or just maybe it's not seen as the cool way to make money, is that we watch these videos of people traveling the world and photographing in Kenya or Antarctica or wherever it might be, that we think we aspire to do those types of trips, and I myself am super guilty of this, but we forget about the local area that we live in. And quite honestly, if you are generating any sort of artwork for your local area, you're going to be able to sell way more prints than you would ever be able to sell from travel work. That there are a lot less people competing in your local area, your local space, documenting the town around you in the nicest way that you possibly can. That people and businesses specifically, they want that work on their walls. That if you were to do, say for instance, we've done gallery shows for both Africa as well as an Italy show as well, and we had pretty good sales, but I would suspect if we shot just a bunch of really beautiful images in our local area and spent maybe 2 months of golden hours and blue hours going deep and really creating something amazing for our local area, I would guarantee that that show would sell a lot more in terms of dollars, and also in terms of product, and also in terms of creating something that's valuable for people to put up. And the sales don't necessarily, as Lindsay's actually discovered this, I wouldn't maybe suggest this as a multiple stream of income if you're a photographer, but it is a stream of income that's, I guess, slightly related. So Lindsay started a clothing line. It's called Georgian Bay, B-A-E. Georgian Bay is a body of water here. Georgian, B-A-E, is, I don't know, you're Georgian Bay. With a clothing line, so much of it is really just kind of photography. That it is really a visual thing. So you're selling photography, but you're selling a product in a different way. I would say that there is a lot more struggle that goes into that, that it's by no means as easy as just like, hey, I'm gonna set up a website and I'm just gonna drop ship product. It is way more challenging than that. But if that is something that maybe sparks your interest, it might be something worth doing. But what we've noticed is that people that are passionate about Georgian Bay and that really enjoy that area of it's a few hours from here, of the world, that they really do want to support that brand. They want to, it's like the thing to put on to identify with your tribe. We've seen this in Canada with East Coast lifestyle. I think it's actually probably starting to infect the Eastern Coast states as well. But basically out east, they started this East Coast lifestyle thing, and it just absolutely blew up across the country, because not only do you have the local East Coast people, but also the people that have moved away from there or have family elements or whatever it might be. So I think the same goes for photography, that if you create a lot of really great images from your local area, that not only is your audience the people that live here now, and every single doctor's office and dentist office, and everyone's going to want these to put up on the walls, but also people that have left this area, that if they have friends and family here or they have ties here, that they're going to want to purchase something to bring with them to wherever they are currently in their lives. So I think there's a lot of money to be made, and that is something that no one really I've seen doing maybe ever around here for sure, and I am unaware of it happening in any other small cities kind of around the world. Obviously, like, people document New York City and Chicago and like all the big places a lot, but I think as smaller towns, that I do feel like there's a lot of money to be made if you just focus locally rather than always aspiring to go somewhere else in order to be creative. That if you can be creative and create great work within your own city, that there are a lot of opportunities to make money. Taking that maybe one more step forward, another thing that you can do, I actually spoke to this a little bit on the kind of the Wedding Photography Weekly podcast that I guess came out yesterday, and what that is teaching local classes. Not necessarily, if you're a wedding photographer, I don't recommend teaching a wedding photography class, because you're just going to train your direct competition in the exact everything that you do. But if you were to do something like a beginner's class to photography, or how to photograph your children, or to take this one step further and to bring it from just kind of a one-off, like sign up, show up, you can rent a coffee shop, whatever you want to do, but to take it one step forward and to create more of a tribe, more of a group, I guess, that comes back over and over again. One, there's now a subscription model element, that if you can do a 12-month photography course, that every single month people come back and you have their images up on the walls and you can talk about them and inspire really kind of everybody to go out and create even better next month, and to give some tools, but more so just almost the inspiration to get out there and to just start working. If you're able to do that, one, you have a subscription element to that, which is awesome, because you have some sort of, I guess, like anxiety relieving income that you can somewhat rely on. And then two, it's just like, it's fun. Like, I would love to do something like that, if it's a photography group that every month comes together, you learn something, maybe you have a guest speaker, and then you go out and you do an assignment for that month or those 2 weeks or that week, or however frequent you want to make it. I think that there is great value in that, and I think that there are a lot of opportunities, and with everyone focusing online, I feel like it opens up way more physical in-person opportunities. Maybe this is a September, October thing, maybe it's not a right now thing as far as just physically being in the same building with a lot of people, but I think that if you get this set up and you sell it out for September, October, November, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to one, make that money, and then two, also just inspire your local creatives, which also is very, very cool. I'm gonna head home now, but I got one more tip for you coming from the upstairs. Not this building. This is a building that's clearly under construction, but from my home building. A few more points here. One, if you're interested in doing online courses or YouTube, if you think that by starting a YouTube channel that you're going to be able to create consistent ad revenue, it really is one of the most difficult games you could ever imagine. I have a few other videos on my channel about how to monetize outside of ad revenue, and just to make content and to make things that actually will hopefully make you a little bit of money, rather than trying to rely on Google ad revenue. Every single month it's going to come down just a little bit, and the deal is always going to be on the side of Google. They're always going to be making the most amount of money. So I wouldn't really recommend that necessarily. If you're interested in bringing like those physical courses that I talked about, those local physical courses, to an online course, know that it is possible, but it really is almost an infinite game that you have to dedicate pretty much your entire new business to. And it's something kind of like microstock photography that's really not going to pay off for a very, very long period of time. I am somebody that plays that infinite game. Maybe actually an easier strategy to get into this is that I actually have an affiliate program for my membership site as well as my products. So if you're interested, it's a 50-50 split. So if you send that link out and they buy something, you get paid on that. And also if you, like, say for instance, if somebody signs up for the $30 a month membership, we're splitting that 50-50. So every single month, if you sign one person up, you're getting $15 PayPal every single first of the month. And then if you sign up 100 people or 50 people or whatever it might be, say it's 100 people, you're making an extra $1,500 per month, which is pretty awesome. So if you're interested in becoming an affiliate for my membership site, send me an email. I'm taylor@taylorjacksonphoto.com, and make the subject like affiliate link, please. And I will get back to you. It might not be instantly. I'm pretty slow on email, but it will be within usually 24 hours, and you can start sending that link out and maybe make some money that way. I would say that's more passive income than anything that I've kind of talked about so far. So if you're interested in that, I feel like there is money to be made there. So you can send me an email and we'll get started there. Now, the last topic I'm going to talk about today is potentially, I would say, the one that can make you the most amount of money outside of just whatever your regular photography job is. And it's actually something that I guess applies to that as well. And that is starting an email list. I feel like this is it seems like it's advice from 1995, but it is something that I wish I would have done a long, long time ago. Basically what you're doing, all of the clients that you work with, starting just a database of their names and sending an email out anytime that you're running any sort of promotion. So obviously don't overuse this. Don't send out new promotions every single week. But for instance, for me, I do family sessions. I only really release them once per year, and usually that's around Christmas time, so the 23rd of December or whatever, so you get those last minute shoppers. And pretty much what I'm doing is I am just offering a super time sensitive sale, because Christmas is the 25th. If you launch this on the 23rd, you blast your email list, you say, hey, I'm doing family sessions, 50% off of like the normal rate or whatever kind of deal you want to run. And you just make it as easy on them as possible, that if they sign up, they go through I use a PayPal cart, or you can use Calendly as well, or Squarespace, the scheduler that you can pay, and they can actually reserve a time if you want to actually do the proper scheduling at that point. I usually just sell the gift certificate, and then at a different time I'll kind of release like, hey, here are the 3 dates that I'm doing these sessions on Parks on Sundays or whatever it might be. But by having an email list and instantly being able to get in touch with everyone that you've ever worked with, as a wedding photographer myself, that I've worked with so many couples, and just by sending them an email once per year to be like, hey, by the way, doing family sessions, if you're interested in buying this for yourself or for a gift, it's available right now, time sensitive offer, give it to your family for Christmas and make everybody really happy. So that's one thing that I've been doing. And instantly being able to get in touch with everyone is just kind of the best thing I would say ever for your business. If you're posting on Instagram, maybe a few people are going to come across that. If there's a Facebook post and there's a link attached, Facebook's going to just drop it down in the algorithm and it's not going to show it to anyone. But if you're able to get into everyone's inbox and maybe send a follow-up, be like, hey, this offer closes at midnight, and just get a lot of people on board very quickly, and you can actually just get out and reach them, which is really cool. And you don't have to rely on any algorithms, and it's just direct you to them communication, which I think is really, really cool, and not a lot of people are utilizing. So that is my best advice of the day. Start an email list with all of your past clients and just be able to get in touch with them. If you're running family sessions, you're running social media sessions, you're running branding sessions, you're running a headshot day, whatever it might be, that you can just now get instantly in touch with everyone. Thank you very much. If you're interested in becoming an affiliate to my site, send me that email, taylor@taylorjacksonphoto.com, affiliate link, comma, please, or whatever subject. Just make sure it says like affiliate in the subject, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching today. Hopefully I'll get a new camera soon and we don't have to use the phone anymore, but I think it worked out pretty well. What do you think? See you later.